many of you in this room have ever been a victim of crime or know someone who has been the victim of a crime? I'm sure many of you have seen, heard, or read an article about various crimes that have been committed throughout Orange County. Today I will be discussing the three most important types of crimes that are committed on a daily basis, which are assault, burglary, and rape, and what can be done to prevent them from happening. The first crime that I would like to discuss is assault, and the definition of assault is a crime of violence against another person. There are various types of assaults that can be committed. The first type of assault is a physical assault, which is, like trying to fight somebody and stuff like that. The second type is sexual. The third type is verbal. Of these three categories, physical crimes are the highest and are up 50% more than the other types of crimes of assault. And it shows it right here, the different types of assaults. And it shows that, see the hands and the fists, that's the highest one out of all the types of assaults that have been committed. One way of reducing assault is to develop an anti-crime program banning the importation and manufacturing, sales, and possession of weapons and firearms. Another reason that the crime rate has also increased is because of burglary. This is according to the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Burglary is the #1 leader among crimes committed in Orange County. The FBI defines burglary as the unlawful entry of a structure to commit a felony or theft. The different types of burglary are residential and commercial. Residential burglaries are ones that have been committed in homes or apartments and stuff like that. Commercial burglary is breaking into like an office, a building, or a restaurant. The things that can be done to prevent these types of burglary is now they're starting to come out with more. I'm sure you guys have seen like those alarm commercials and stuff where they show like a guy breaking in and they have alarm 1. That's like probably the best way to stop residential burglary. Another way of helping to prevent and also catch the burglar in the act is having high-tech quality cameras. That way so you can like have their face and stuff. These are also the different types of burglary right here. There's 2 different types of categories. And the last one that I want to talk to you about that is probably like the most well known is rape. It's rape. 70 to 80% of all rapes are committed by someone that the victim or survivor knew. Rape is defined as forced, unwanted sexual intercourse. Rape, sometimes also called sexual assault, can happen to both men and women of any age. There are 5 different types of classified rapes. The first one is anger rape. This type of rape expresses hatred towards the victim and rage. This type of rapist wants the person to feel and understand his anger towards them. The second type is power rapes. This type of rape wants to express power and domination over the victim. These rapists have a common fantasy of women who want them and resist their commands and then consent to sex. So when the fantasy is acted out, the victim doesn't cooperate with the fantasy and becomes more about domination and taking over control of the person. Another type is sadistic rape. This rape is obsessed with the ritual that goes along with the sex. This could be making the victim act out a part in some sort of role play. It can involve manipulation or torture as means of getting the rapist excited. An example of that is, I know you guys have seen Joe Dirt. There's a part where this guy named Buffalo Bob, he takes capture of him and he puts him in like this little well, and he makes them like dress up, and he makes them do all this stuff. And that's like an example of that. It's kind of weird, but about fantasy. The last two types of rape are stranger rape, and that's obviously being raped by someone that you don't know, just some random person. And acquaintance rape, and that's someone that you do know. This is where date rape falls into play. There's also one more, marital rape. This rape is rape of your spouse. It is once thought that once you have consented to a marriage that you are obligated to serve your husband in any way he saw fit, and this meant sexuality. But since the early 80s, we have been passing laws state by state to try and change this control a man has over the sexuality activity in his marriage. And some ways of preventing rape are, they have those websites and hotlines that you can call somebody if you need any attention or help with anything. Don't give your personal information out to people that you don't know. Lock all your doors, like in your house and in your car and stuff, so that no one tries to mess with you. Also, have better alarm systems. Now that I've explained to you the three most popular types of crimes that have been committed on a daily basis, I have explained to you the three most popular types of crimes that have been committed on a daily basis and what you can do to prevent them from happening to you. The reason that these crimes are being committed, I think, in my opinion, is because of the economy. I feel like once the economy goes down, that the crime rate will also decrease. And basically with this statistics is these are all the different types of things that happen throughout Orange County, but the three top are assault, burglary, and rape. But you can also see that there's homicide, there's robbery, and there's larceny, and there's also auto theft. That's it.
All right, I don't think I reminded people who was supposed to do things. Laura, you're supposed to do the written evaluation on that. And Taylor, I don't know if you realized it, we were moving you up to do the oral evaluation. What did you think of Donald's speech?
I think he had a lot of good information, but with his visual, it just seemed like a lot of numbers, and this text is small, so it's kind of confusing in a way. But otherwise, I think he explained the different types of crime pretty well, especially the rape crime. But I wasn't sure if that was his main point, was the rape crime or just all three of those crimes. But otherwise, it's
All right. You don't have to stand up there. It just feels a little weird. If you want to, but that's fine. But that's okay with me. The audience survey's okay at the beginning, I think, since you are talking about crimes. You need to, I think, have a little bit more energy on it. You have a very good identification of your topic, an excellent thesis statement, so we know where you're going, and you set up what the contents are pretty clearly. Once we get to that material, I thought that you did a good job at the beginning when you were trying to classify the different kinds of assaults, and you've got some definitions here, but I didn't hear any source citations on those definitions. There's no reference to the numbers that you have up on the visual that you're providing, and so I'm not sure why they need to be up there and what they help you explain. The material on the different classifications of burglary, for instance, you mentioned that there are two legal classifications of burglary, and they are referred to on the visual. I don't know what the difference is, though. There wasn't any explanation on that. On the rape material, the first thing that occurred to me was you described have the different classifications of rape, but it sounds to me that's from a psychological perspective rather than a legal perspective. In other words, I'm not sure that somebody gets arrested and charged with fantasy rape or, those other kinds of things. There might be some classifications that are going in there. So those fit, I don't think that that fits quite as well into the material that you had earlier. It might be a subject on its own. A couple of times you start wandering off into solutions. Worry about that when we get to the persuasive speeches. I didn't think the visual added much to the speech.